There'll come a time, say the Anishinaabe, when the world's people will arrive at a fork in the road. The air will be too thick to breathe, and it will no longer be possible to dip a cup into a stream and bring out fresh water to drink. At that time, they say, we'll have to walk back along the paths of our ancestors, retrieving all the many treasures they've left behind. Each of us will find something that we need, some tale, some parable, some crucial story. We'll pick it up and put it in our knapsack, whatever we can carry, large or small, and together we will walk on down the road. For me, one of those crucial stories has to do with listening. Most of us think of listening in a fairly literal fashion, human beings listening or not listening to one another, the pleasure of attending to a familiar piece of music. The word derives from the Old English, lisnen, which means quite simply to pay attention. But listening can have a far broader and more capacious meaning, moving out beyond the small apparatus of the ears to the hands or belly or enveloping spirit-mind. When a massage practitioner talks of listening to the body, or a gardener describes herself as listening to the land, when writers and artists explain that they are listening to their work in progress, they're using the word as I would like to use it here, as an extended metaphor for openness and receptivity, less actual than symbolic, less physical than metaphysical, rippling out from the self-centered human to the farthest reaches of the non-human world. I've been exploring such listening for a number of years, tracking it through literature and literary history, Buddhism, nature writing, science and sociology, comforted by the echoes and connections between those very different fields. I've also interviewed several dozen expert listeners, writers and therapists, naturalists and storytellers, along with a handful of superb musicians. Some of those I quote are famous and familiar: Montaigne, Chekhov and Virginia Woolf, Mary Oliver, Barry Lopez. Some are our own magnificent contemporaries: the botanist Robin Wall Kimmerer, the trumpeter Frank London, the avant-garde singer Meredith Monk. Others again are personal friends and colleagues, little known outside their own immediate circle. Their stories are included in the chapters that follow, along with memories and impressions of my own. In Praise of Listening is composed of 13 chapters, each one made up of a number of short sections or essayettes, which can themselves be heard in any order. It focuses at first on human-centered listening, listening to childhood, listening inwards, and gradually moves out into the surrounding world, listening to the wild, to the little sounds of every day. After a couple of chapters devoted to professional listening, listening to music, writers listening, it reaches a place where listening overlaps with what one might call the ear of the heart, communing with the dead, listening to silence or to the spirit, to arrive finally at a kind of global listening, all our relations, where there is nothing and no one that is not worth listening to.